right, triangles, 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 all about some triangles. Classification to start with. First way we can classify our angles is by our triangles is by the angles of the triangle. So if we have a triangle and it's got 3 acute angles, then it's an acute triangle. If we have a triangle with one obtuse angle, then we've got an obtuse triangle. And if we have a triangle with one right angle, we've got a right triangle. Very clever names, not hard to remember. If we have a triangle with 3 congruent angles, that means that they're all the same. Then we got an equiangular triangle. And we can also classify our triangles by sides. By classification, I think I just mean name. So if we've got no congruent sides, then we have a scalene triangle. That means none of the sides are the same length. If we've got a triangle with 2 congruent sides, and remember these little dashes mean that those are the same distance, or they're the same measure. So that means that they're congruent or the same. And we've got an isosceles triangle when we got 2 congruent sides. So if we've got 3 congruent sides, then we've got an equilateral triangle. All right, you might be asked to classify triangles by their sides and or their angles. So it's just looking at the triangle and determining which ones that we just named does it fit. So let's look at this first one. First, we're going to look at the angles. Well, when I look at the angles, there's a right angle, so it's got to be a right triangle. And when I look at the sides, I notice that 2 sides are the same or they're congruent, so that's our isosceles triangle. So this is a right triangle and an isosceles triangle. Okay, if our triangle NP is equilateral, find x and the measure of each side. So this is where we're bringing in our algebra. Equilateral, remember that means that all the sides are the same. So what I can do here is I can set 2 of these equations, any 2, because all 3 of them are the same, and set them equal to each other and solve for x. So let's do that. I just picked the top 2. They look the easiest. 4x minus 25 equals x plus 14. When I do my solving, I get x equals 13. This question also asked us to find the measure of each side. So I just need to plug in x to any of the equations. Remember, this is equilateral. That means that every single side is going to be the same exact amount. So I can pick and choose which one to put it into. So I just picked x plus 14 because that's the easiest. So 13 plus 14 is 27. Again, since this is an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal, so they are all 27. All right, let me know if and when you have questions.